Coming at you from deer hunting season, folks. Welcome to sausage making. Oh, I like this time of year on the farm with the family and the kids, and we all get together and doing it. Starts out obviously with some prep work and some cleaning. Today we decided we're going to make the snack sticks. Everybody makes them a little different, but we start out by just wiping down and sanitizing our equipment the best we can. I recommend little handheld bleach wipes. I think they work really good. Get your tool cleaned out inside and out. And then get yourself a good recipe. Now, they don't make organic smoked stack stick recipe anymore, but I still use it. From Sausage Maker, I use the recipe part of it, and I just make the seasonings up myself. But at first, you got to get your deer, your venison going. Got to get it weighed out, and follow the recipe. In my situation, I like to do 7 pounds of venison, so I like to get that weighed out first if I can. I've done it as high as 10 pounds of venison in a batch. So I guess it depends upon, what your venison's like. A younger doe, a younger animal, it's going to be more of a tender meat. You get that older buck, you may want to back off a little on the venison and be a little higher on the pork end of things, if you know what I mean. But you got to be somewhere between 7 and 10 pounds of stuff. I'm going to stop here at 8, and then I'm going to put the pork in. I'm just using pork trimmings from our farm from our previous butcher time. And typically, if you're doing a 10-pound batch and you use 8 pounds of venison, I'm going to use a couple pounds of pork. And then to help it out too, I've rendered down some pork fat, and I'm going to at least put what I call 1 brick of that in. So here I'm almost at 2 pounds of pork. And as you can see, I threw a brick in the top of lard. And then I'm going to use my veggie stable, which is, a celery. And that's going to be for my replacement for my, synthetic sodium product, nitrates. So again, I'm using a celery salt. And then I'm going to use my spice. And my celery salt for this batch is about 1 ounce, and my spice is going to be about 7 ounces. And then we're going to grind it. We're going to grind it through the fine grinder, and it's going to go real well, I hope. Grinding it with pork and with fat in it sometimes makes it a little difficult. But we do the best we can with it on the farm. It's what it is. So we got all the kids and the family involved, and they're going out there and they're just, grinding it up for me, pushing it through and doing it. And this is small plate grinding. I've got a small plate grind it, and then we'll, put our cure in it and we'll mix it. And that whole process will make it fairly thick, so we will be adding some water to this to be able to push it through. The snack stick size I like to use is that kind of 19 to 21 millimeter, and it won't go through the press very easy unless we liquefy it a little bit. So in comes our spices and our cure all put together, and I've got it with several cups of water here. So I've put 2 cups of water in, and I've mixed it in with my 7 ounces of spices and my 1 ounce of celery salt cure, and I'm putting this together. Again, I like to use the celery salt. You can use the number 1 if you need to. That's fine too. Then I'm going to take my 19 to 21 millimeter casing, and I'm going to put it in my, stuffer. And I've got, the electric pedal. I've showed you guys that before that I use on my stuffer, so I can just push with my feet. It gets my 2 hands free so I can stuff my casing. And I'm just stuffing my casing. I have both casings. I have the natural sheep, and I've got the collagen casing, so I make sure I don't run out. And basically, I stuff them just a tad from being taut. I like them to have the ability to have some bendability. And the reason is because when I put them in my Lang smoker, I don't hang mine. I put them on trays, and I rope them out. And because of that, I want to make sure I can bend them enough. I've got some other meat here in the smoker. Don't worry about that, folks. I'm putting these in. I'm gonna start smoking them probably around the 180 mark for about that first hour. Then I'm going to kick the smoker up to about 250, and I'm going to smoke these up to 152 degrees. They don't take as long as you think when they're this thin, folks, and they get a nice smoky flavor. Today's choice of wood, just because I'm doing that leg of goat there down below, is going to be hickory. you certainly can use other ones. So I'm just above the 150 mark, and time-wise, I'm doing good. Smoke's going in well. We've managed to get ourselves up to that 130 mark, and we're going to push ourselves right up to that 152, which of course it does quite easily. And I never actually got quite as hot as I wanted, but that doesn't matter. The gauges on the thing were saying only about 200, but I'm real happy with how they look. I'm real pleased. So with this being the case, I'm going to take these out, and we'll get a taste test first. And then once I get done with the taste test, then I'm going to turn around and get these things in. I'm going to get them cut up. I'm going to get them vacuum sealed and cooled. Now, I know some people douse these things in really ice cold water. You can do that, folks, if you're worried about the cooking continuing. But I'm in Minnesota, and it's literally 30 degrees outside. We're freezing right now. So the minute I open this up and start putting these things into the bins, I don't really have to worry about them cooling down much because it's already happening. You can see the steam coming off these bad boys. This will make quite a bit of snack sticks for us, but unfortunately it won't last us long. We'll be lucky if we get half a year out of these the way the kids all eat these up. But they sure look delicious. They smell delicious. Once we get them in, my wife and I decide on a size, and we start cutting them. I like to trim them up. I know it wastes a little bit, but those little ends will get eaten here throughout the morning. And, we'll have some beautiful snack sticks once it's frozen up. Because there's 7 of us in the family, we freeze them in bags of 14, and that works the best for us. So, and we do vacuum seal them. I find that that's about the right quantity to quickly thaw, stick in the fridge, and eat up within a week quite easily. So here we go. We're putting away the snack sticks. We're making things, good for the winter for us. I ended up making 3 batches, so that would be about 30 pounds of meat. Again, that's with 8 pounds of venison and 2 pounds of pork and one little thing of pork fat. And then again, that's with the 1 ounce of the celery for my cure and the 7 ounces of my snack stick spices from the sausage maker. When they get done, folks, they're vacuum sealed. They look like this, just absolutely wonderful. My daughter is doing all the vacuum sealing for us. They store quite well, but I never get to store them long enough because we eat them all. I hope you really enjoyed the recipe. I've enjoyed making these over the years. I believe I've got it down to the point that we really like it. There's no change in it for us. The family goes through these pretty fast. I'm also going to turn around and make a summer sausage recipe. I've done that before, and we really like that. That one I do like to use the sausage maker or natural summer sausage spices, and I do it somewhat similar. So I'll put out another video on that just so you can see. But here we go. We're just finishing up the process of vacuum sealing. We'll put these into the freezer. We'll eat a bag of them tonight. And there's 30 pounds of deer gone. Literally pretty much one whole animal. Appreciate you watching, folks. Like and subscribe and follow us on our channel as we keep doing great things here on the farmstead and the homestead with both the reefs and the animals and all the fun things we do with cooking. Thank you, folks.